Competitive edge physical therapy here with the Bulgarian split squat. This is set 1 in a series progression for this exercise. This is great for anyone looking to improve lower extremity alignment and looking to improve single leg glute control. So the starting position is your back leg is on a bench about at knee height, and the front foot is facing forward, and you want to make sure that your up leg, the leg that's on the bench, is not too far behind you, so the femur or thigh is actually slightly behind the body. The first action you're going to go through is you're going to do a hip hinge. You're going to use your hands, you're going to chop your butt back into that motion, and you're going to bring your chest so it's forward, directly over your knee. You want to make sure your knee joint center does not go in front of the toes, as that would load the quad too much. As you come up through the motion, the feeling inside is to drive the hips forward directly ahead of you. Let's go through that again. Hips are going to go back in a hip hinge, chest comes forward, straight over the knee. And then drive the hips forward, squeezing the butt the entire time. This is the front view for the Bulgarian split squat. In this position, we're going to be focusing on knee position, trunk position, and pelvic position. So again, the foot is pointing straight ahead, knee is straight ahead, and if, in this case, if you have a belt buckle or something that you're wearing, you want to point that straight ahead. You don't want it to be turned behind you. That would put too much work on the inner and outer thigh muscles, and what we really want is on the glute and quad to be doing the work here. So as you go through the motion, you're going to hip hinge, you're going to drop your hips behind you, and you're going to keep your trunk directly centered over the distance between both knees. What you don't want to have happen is to let the knee come in like this. Good, let's go back to the regular position. And you don't want to move your trunk either over the side that you're doing the work on or to the other side. In either position, that will be a compensation. You won't get the full benefit out of the motion. Let's come on up. And finally, if you're doing this for running purposes, you want to get the hands right. Or the left arm in front of you, right arm behind you as you come down. You are going to bring that right arm forward as the butt goes back, and then drive the hip forward as you come up in the running motion. This is the posterior view of the Bulgarian split squat. In this position, what we're really going to focus on is the pelvic control. Ideally, during this motion, we want to keep your pelvis perfectly level. So as you come back into a hip hinge and you start the motion, you see here the pelvis is nice and level. A very common compensation is to let the upside leg drop down like this. When you do that, the glute is now shut off, and you're going to put too much work through your hip joint. So what you want to do is perform an external rotation, or really kick in the left-sided glute, and you want to think about lifting up the right hip towards the ceiling without shifting your trunk over to the left as you do it. Because another common compensation is the trunk moving over the side of the hip as you lift the hip up. So you want trunk level and you want hip level.